Good evening, my friends, and welcome to a brand new season of Terror Radio Podcast. If this is your first time joining me, then welcome. Come on in. This is a podcast dedicated to bringing you the best of horror and thriller, old-time radio broadcasts, as well as original stories. I'm your host, Keith, aka the Radio Show Nerd. And I hope you all are doing well, and I am excited for a brand new season. Oh, and for those who have sent me messages stating we haven't heard an original story for a year, believe you me, I have some gems coming up. So, tonight's episode is entitled Can't Outrun Your Fate. So, without further ado, this is Terror Radio. Our two radio series highlighted tonight are Hall of Fantasy and Quiet Please. Our first radio play is called Jewels of Kali and was first broadcasted on Hall of Fantasy June 15th, 1953. Following that is the radio play Summer Goodbye, and it was first broadcasted sometime in 1949 on Quiet Please. Now, you all know the drill. Sit back, turn down the lights, and listen to Jewels of Kali, followed by Summer Goodbye.
And now, the Hall of Fantasy. Welcome to the Hall of Fantasy. Welcome to the series of radio dramas dedicated to the supernatural, the unusual, and the unknown. Come with me, my friends. We shall descend to the world of the unknown and forbidden, down to the depths where the veil of time is lifted, and the supernatural reigns as king. Come with me and listen to the tale of the Jewels of Kali.
Is that you, Kettridge?
Yes.
I heard a scream.
Yes, so did I.
It sounded like Sheldon.
You'd better take a look.
Yes. Sheldon, are you all right? Sheldon?
Here. Let me light a match.
Sheldon, are you... Kettridge. What's the matter with them? Both of them.
They're dead. The Hall of Fantasy will present the Jewels of Kali in just a moment. And now for our story entitled The Jewels of Kali.
I hear and obey, Mother Kali. If need be, I shall follow them to the ends of the earth, and they shall know that I follow them. Peace they shall not have, nor quiet rest, and their days shall be lived in fear of the death that creeps behind them. One by one shall they die, and I shall return to you bearing with me the Jewels of Kali.
I didn't know till later why George Mayer had asked us to meet him at his cabin on the lake. Elaine and I knew that Kettridge was going to be there, but we couldn't understand why he hadn't gone to George's apartment in the city. At any rate, we wanted to hear about Kettridge's trip to India, and so Friday evening we drove out of the city, heading for the cabin.
Looks like it's going to rain.
Yeah, maybe the storm won't break till we get to the cabin, though.
Well, I hope not. It makes it treacherous driving on wet roads.
I don't think we'll have any trouble.
Do you know Kettridge, Lloyd?
I met him once, it was all. I doubt if he'll remember me. It was a long time ago. 3 or 4 years before we were married.
There have been several stories in the paper lately about the Kettridge expedition. The reporters have been comparing it to the men who found the tomb of Tutankhamun.
I know. 2 of his party died before they left India, and another one over here. That only leaves Kettridge and Porter.
And they're saying that some kind of curse follows the members of the expedition.
Well, that's superstitious nonsense, Elaine. The three who died were older men. Because they died within a few weeks of each other, the papers are having a field day. It builds up circulation.
I don't know, Lloyd. I think there's more to it than that.
How do you mean?
I don't know. It's a feeling I have. A lot of the stories jumped from one thing to another, as if they were deliberately leaving something out, something too terrible to put down.
Well, here's that storm. The rain's going to slow us down.
Be careful. I'd just as soon get there in one piece.
Don't worry, you will. Are you really serious about those stories you read?
Yes, Lloyd, I am. I'm just as serious as I can be. I'm sure that there's a lot more behind those stories. Something that might make us think twice before going up to this cabin.
You know how it is. Every once in a while we get a warning, a premonition of things to come. That's what had happened to Elaine. She didn't know what it was, but she knew that something was wrong. What she didn't know was that we would meet death up there at the cabin. It took us an hour longer than it usually did to reach George's cabin.
Do you have everything?
I guess so.
Well, let's go then.
All right. It's going to feel mighty good to get inside.
Did Kettridge drive up with George?
I think he's coming up by himself.
Oh, well, he's not here then. Look, there's only George's car.
Yeah, he'll probably get here soon.
It certainly gets cold up here at night.
Oh, he must have heard us drive up.
Hey, hi, George.
Hi, George.
So you made it all right.
Yeah?
Oh, why shouldn't we?
Well, a storm and all. I thought maybe you wouldn't come. Come on in.
Kettridge hasn't arrived yet, has he?
No. Just set your things down over there.
Pleasure.
Maybe it's a good thing we came up here after all, George. I can get in a little fishing.
Tomorrow morning, we'll go out early.
Good.
Now, how about a hot cup of coffee?
Yeah, it sounds like a good idea.
Well, just sit on down. I'll get it for you.
All right.
You want some, don't you, Lane?
Oh, try to stop me.
I wonder when Kettridge will get here.
Oh, pretty soon, I imagine. Take your cups. He's a pretty worried fellow.
Why?
Well, you saw the papers, didn't you?
Yes, we saw the stories.
I'll leave this here in case you want seconds.
Good.
Is there anything to those stories, George?
Well, Kettridge says there is.
How do you mean?
Well, he says he's lucky to be alive.
Why?
He said something about Kali's curse.
Curse?
That's right. He seems to think that everyone who is in the Lost Temple is going to die, that there's no hope for any of them.
What was that?
An animal.
A dog, or a wolf, probably.
Oh.
Why does he think they're going to die?
Well, probably because 3 of the party already have. He and Porter are the only ones left. He seems to think there was a curse on any who defiled the Lost Temple of Kali, especially on those who took the jewels of Kali.
This is the first time I've heard anything about jewels. What jewels?
Well, Kettridge told me that the idol held a ruby in each of its 4 hands. His group took the jewels, and ever since, their steps have been followed by death.
Listen.
Don't get so nervous, Elaine. It's probably just a dog out in the rain.
That wasn't a dog.
Then what was it?
I don't know.
Hey, a car just pulled up outside.
Well, that must be Kettridge. Henry? Is that you?
Yes, I'll be right in.
Lloyd,
Yes, dear.
that wasn't an animal I heard.
You're letting your imagination get the best of you. Elaine, calm down.
Well, it's so good to see you, Henry.
Well, thank you, George.
Henry. Henry, these are the Erskines. Lloyd and Elaine, Henry Kettridge.
How do you do? It's a
How do you
pleasure.
do?
Cup of coffee, Henry?
No, thank you.
What's the matter? Anything wrong?
Yes, plenty.
What is it?
Just before I left town, I learned that Porter had died.
What?
Yes, that's right. Porter and I were the only ones left, and now he's dead. I'm the last one of the party left alive. That my turn is next.
What about the jewels?
I have them, all of them, with me. Porter gave me the 2 he had. He said he didn't want them anymore. He was afraid, and he thought that by giving them away to me, that he would escape death. But he was wrong. It didn't do him any good. That means that I am the last one, that soon, perhaps within the next few hours, I'll be dead too. We'll return to the Hall of Fantasy and the tale of the Jewels of Kali in just a moment. Back now to the Hall of Fantasy and the tale of the Jewels of Kali.
The storm seemed to be getting worse. We stood there, the four of us, in George Mayer's cabin. Our eyes were turned to Henry Kettridge, whose face was white and drawn with the fear he felt inside of him.
That means that I'm the last one, that soon, perhaps within the next few hours, I'll be dead too.
Do you really believe that, Mr. Kettridge?
What else do you expect me to believe? There were 5 of us on that trip, 4 are dead. I'm the only one left alive.
Why don't you tell us about it?
It's not a pleasant tale, believe me.
Tell us what happened.
All right. We'd heard stories of a lost temple of Kali. As you know, the British government outlawed Kali worship many years ago. But we had heard of a lost temple some 15 miles northwest of the Indian city of Amritsar. We'd heard also that she held in each of her 4 hands jewels of tremendous wealth, each one a fortune in itself. We set out from Amritsar. None of us knew that we were walking to certain death. It is a particularly barren country, rocky and mountainous. We had a difficult time traveling. At length, however, we came across a valley hidden by the encircling mountains. I remember it was towards dusk. Porter and I saw it first.
Kettridge, look.
Yes, I see it, Porter.
That must be the lost temple. Sitting down there in the center of the valley.
I imagine it is.
Those stories about the priceless jewels. Do you think they're true?
The stories about the lost temple were true, weren't they?
Yes, only What was that?
I don't know. We heard the voice then for the first time. The sun had just slipped behind the mountains, and the sky was dulling quickly into ever more darker shades of blue. The voice seemed to filter through the air, so that it seemed to come from all directions at once. We decided then to push on that night, to travel until we reached the lost temple. We reached the temple several hours later, and stood there, bathed in the shimmering light of the moon. I think that all of us at that moment sensed that there was something inside that temple, something that was alive and wasn't just a graven image in stone. Yet, we couldn't turn back. We walked inside the temple. No one was there save for the black and besmeared idol of Kali, who held out her 4 stone arms beckoning to us. We stopped before her and saw that in each of her 4 hands she held a huge, glittering ruby. We took the gems and left the temple. Later that night, we made camp. All of us felt that we'd done something wrong, but we knew that we wouldn't return the rubies. Sometime after we'd retired for the night, I heard the voice. But I put it down to my imagination. I must have fallen off to sleep. What woke me was Sheldon's scream.
Is that you, Kettridge? Yes. I heard a scream.
Yes, so did I.
It sounded like Sheldon.
Better take a look.
Right. Sheldon, are you all right? Sheldon.
Let me light a match.
Sheldon, are you all... Kettridge. What's the matter with them? Both of them.
They're dead. Both Sheldon and Friedman were dead. Around their throat, we saw the ugly imprint of the stranglers, the fancy gars rope. Kali, the wife of Siva, had struck back at us. Sheldon and Friedman were the first to die. Manning was next, and tonight I learned that Porter had joined them. I'm the only one left.
They all died the same way?
Yes, with the fancy gars rope around their necks. Here, I'll show you the jewels. Those are the jewels of Kali.
Oh, I've never seen anything so beautiful.
They're so large.
I'd like to examine them more closely.
Don't touch them, George. To touch them means death. Who's that?
Well, just the sound of an animal out in the storm.
Well, I hope it was only that.
You don't think they followed you out here, do you?
They would follow me anywhere. Those who worship Kali. Either they would, or she would.
She would? Why, you talk as if you think that stone idol of Kali were alive.
Yes, I do. It sounds insane, I know. But I'm firmly convinced that stone idol lives in a way not apparent to us. And that she will demand revenge for the wrong we've done her.
Well, calm down, Henry.
I can't be calm with the knowledge that she demands her revenge. I can't be calm when I know that she will only be satisfied when I am dead, just like all the others. Listen.
I heard that cry earlier tonight.
And they followed me here.
What?
That's right. They followed me here. For the sound you just heard was the cry of the priests of Kali. She's out there somewhere. Somewhere in the storm.
You don't mean that you believe that the idol of Kali is out there in the storm waiting for you?
Either the idol itself or one of her followers.
Lloyd, let's take a look outside.
All right. Don't go out there.
No nonsense, Henry. If anything's out there, we might as well see what it is.
Be careful.
Don't worry about a thing.
All right. You ready?
Yes.
Let's go.
Do you think he's telling the truth?
Well, there'd be no reason for him to lie to us.
I still can't believe it.
Well, we'll see if there's anybody around the cabin itself.
If he's telling the truth... George,
What?
look. Over there, by the window.
Oh, I don't see anything.
I thought I saw someone over there. Let's take a look.
All right. Now, you must have been mistaken.
I don't see how.
There's not even any footprints outside the window. Wait a minute.
What's the matter?
This.
What'd you find?
It's a piece of rope. Rather, a noose with a knot in it. Maybe Kettridge is right. Maybe someone is following him.
What do you mean?
Kettridge has described this noose to me before. This is the type of rope and knot the Fansigars used, Lloyd. This is the sacrificial rope of the priests of Kali.
You are listening to the tale of The Jewels of Kali on this week's journey down the corridors of the Hall of Fantasy. We'll return to our story in just a moment. And now, back to our story entitled The Jewels of Kali.
Henry Kettridge felt sure that someone was outside the cabin, hidden from us by the storm. George and I had gone outside to see if we could find anything. For a moment, I thought I saw a man standing next to the cabin by the window. When we walked over to look, we found nothing but a noose of rope.
Kettridge has described this noose to me before. This is the type of rope and knot the Fansigars used, Lloyd. This is the sacrificial rope of the priests of Kali.
How did it get here?
I don't know. Well, there are no footprints here, except ours.
I thought I saw someone standing over here. I can't be sure, but I thought I saw someone.
If anyone has been over here, we'd be able to see their footprints.
Then how did the rope get here?
I don't know.
Listen,
Yes, I heard it too.
there is someone out there.
But where? You can't see anything because of the storm.
We better get back inside.
I think you're right. Let's go.
Are we going to show Kettridge?
Yes. I'm sorry I asked you and your wife up here, Lloyd. If I'd known anything like this was going to happen...
Oh, forget it. Look. Do you see what I see?
Yes. Just for a second, outlined by the lightning, it looked like the statue of a woman with 4 arms.
Kali comes for you.
Lloyd,
Yes.
I hear the sound of heavy, slow steps.
Let's get inside.
Right.
Do you see anything?
Let us inside.
Here.
What's the matter, Lloyd? You look as if you'd seen a ghost.
We found this.
The strangler's rope.
That's right, and
And what else?
we saw something else.
What did you see, man? Tell me.
The lightning flashed a moment, and we saw something that looked like a statue of a woman with 4 arms.
She reached them out to us and said, Kali comes for you.
Are you sure?
Yes.
What are we going to do?
Maybe we'd better go out to the cars and get away from here. What do you say, George?
I think you're right.
Don't be insane. You wouldn't have a chance. They won't let us get away. If we go outside that door, we'll be walking to our deaths.
What do you propose doing? Waiting here until they come for us?
Yes. At least they won't be able to get us outside in the dark.
I think we should take our chance and leave.
So do I.
And I agree with them. Waiting here only means certain death for all of us. If we make a run for it, we may get away.
Let's get our things together and leave.
All right.
Yes.
Stop.
Huh?
You're going to stay here with me.
Henry, where'd you get that gun?
I've carried it with me ever since I left India. We're not leaving. We're going to wait here.
Don't be a fool, Kettridge.
I'm not being a fool. I'm tired of running. This is the end of the trail for me. I'm not running anymore. And you're not going to either.
Maybe we can get away, Henry.
Maybe. I don't think so. Stay where you are, George. I'm warning you.
Don't you think that if...
The next time the bullet won't be over your head.
All right, Henry. You win.
Look, I don't like to do this. There's no other way. Ever since we returned to the States to split up, I've had to face this thing alone. It's only a question of time when they'll catch up with me. I can't run anymore. I can't face death alone. Maybe they won't hurt you. There's no reason why they should. After all, you didn't steal the jewels of Kali. We did. And I'm the only one of that group's left alive. They all died alone. I don't want to. I need people near me, so that when it comes, I can face my death with courage and not die like a screaming coward.
All right, Henry. We give you our word. We won't run away.
Thank you.
Kali comes for you.
It won't be long now. We have only to wait.
Take a look out the window, Lloyd. See if you can see anything.
Right.
Do you see anything?
So dark out there with the storm and all, I can't see. Wait a minute. The lightning. The thing is less than 100 feet from the cabin.
What?
The idol, the idol.
I hear it out there.
It's getting close to the cabin.
You three, get over to the other side of the room. I'll stay here.
But we can't.
There's no time to argue. Get over there quickly.
What are you going to do, Henry?
I'll wait for it here. Maybe the gun will stop it.
Oh, it's on the porch outside.
Be quiet.
It's just outside the door.
Be quiet.
Don't move. No matter what happens.
It stopped.
In just a moment, it's going to hit.
Kali comes for you. Look out, Henry.
Stay away from me. Stay away.
Is it gone?
Yes.
Yes, it's gone. And it took Henry and the jewels back with it.
Where did it come from?
Henry believed that it came all the way from the lost temple 50 miles northwest of the Indian city of Amritsar.
But what was it? That black grinning face with the grotesque body and those 4 arms.
That was Kali, the wife of Siva, the Hindu deity of destruction.
If I hadn't seen it, I would never have believed it.
Yes, I know, but you did see it. The stone idol was here. All the way from India, it came to fulfill the curse on those who defiled the temple and stole the jewels of Kali.
I hear and obey, Mother Kali. I shall follow them to the ends of the earth, and they shall know that I follow them. Peace they shall not have, nor quiet rest, and their days shall be lived in fear of the death who creeps behind them. One by one shall they die, and we shall return, bearing with us the jewels of Kali.
Kali!
So runs tonight's tale of the unusual, the terrifying, the unknown. Join us again when next we journey down the corridors of the Hall of Fantasy to hear another strange tale of the supernatural. All characters and events portrayed in these programs are fictional, and any similarity to actual events or persons, living or dead, is purely coincidental.
Quiet, please. Quiet, please. The American Broadcasting Company presents Quiet, Please, which is written and directed by Willis Cooper, and which features Ernest Chappell. Quiet, Please, for today is called Summer Goodbye.
The last stoplight, the last traffic light, is where Sepulveda Boulevard crosses Ventura at Sherman Oaks. The next one's nearly 40 miles northwest at Camarillo. So we felt pretty sure there'd be nothing to stop us for a long time. And even though they weren't very far behind us then, I knew most of the side roads. I wasn't sure they did. I thought of the road that branches off the Hidden Valley Road that goes the other way from Lake Sherwood. And I thought of the East Potrero Road that goes down to the Coast Road. Finally leads deviously over through the sand dunes of Onemi. I was afraid they might know that way. And then I remembered Las Vergenas Canyon. I remember the little house way up under the hills, the place we used to call Shangri-La. And I was sure they wouldn't know that place. Now, you need a place to hide out in. And the back of your car is loaded down with 2 satchels full of money that used to belong to somebody else. And there's bright, fresh blood on the handle of one of them. The last days of summer in California. The time when you know it's summer goodbye. When the rains are sweeping down from the northwest where they've been gathering up over Juan de Fuca, drenching the forests in the north, turning to snow over the high Sierras, drifting southward to kiss summer goodbye and turn the long brown hills into green pastures. When the little brooks would fill up and overflow their banks, the sleepy Los Angeles River would come to life again down in the valley. Roads would disappear in the mud. The last days of summer. Then I knew if we could hide away somewhere till the rains came, they'd be hard put to follow us. Maybe there'd come a day when we could pull out again. And that money that used to be somebody else's would be ours. Madeline's and mine. And not in California either.
It's raining up in the ridge route, Noel. We'll get it almost any day now.
It certainly doesn't look like it now, does it?
Oh, you can't tell in California.
Sooner the better.
That's right. The way it's been all summer. We get up in the canyon there, you know. I'm afraid of fire.
Yeah, we had no fires all summer.
It only takes one.
Turn around, see if you can see anybody.
No, nobody. I think they got tied up in the traffic back there at Van Nuys Boulevard.
Yeah, I hope so.
Me too.
Keep a sharp eye out for motorcycle cops, too.
Big joke if we got stopped for speeding.
I feel sorry for anybody that tries it.
Me too. I wonder what about that one that was carrying the satchel.
Nothing to wonder about.
I guess not. I got my hands all dirty from that satchel, too.
We can wash when we get up there.
I hope there's nobody up there.
So do I. Be too bad if there is.
Noel, you think you can get out if it starts to rain?
Hope so.
That road will probably go all to pieces.
Well, all the better for us.
Oh, I wouldn't want to get stuck.
We won't. Take another look back.
Nobody yet.
Yeah, I think we're getting away from them. If we don't get stuck behind a truck or something. The California drivers.
Be careful, you're doing 75.
Well, I have to do better than that.
How much farther? Where we turn off, I mean.
4, 5, 6 miles, maybe more. That's the road there over the Canoga Park.
Listen, Noel. You hear anything?
What?
Silence.
I hear them. Long ways off, though. Hang on, we're going places.
I hope we don't blow a tire.
Don't cut it out. Fat chance.
What?
Hitchhiker. See him? Blue denim pants, khaki shirt.
Take the next car, mister.
Yeah.
You're going awful fast, Noah.
Well, so are the boys behind us.
No.
What?
What do we do if they catch up with us?
They won't catch up with us.
But what if they do?
Well, if they grab us,
Well,
they'll top us.
stop us? What do you mean?
Put us up on a platform with a rope around our necks, honey. Pull the platform out from under us.
Hang us?
Yeah, that's what they do to people that murder other people, honey.
Well, I didn't murder anybody, Noah.
You were with me when I did.
Well, yes, but-
You didn't try to stop me. You grabbed the satchel he was carrying.
My hands. I didn't have a chance to wash them. I wish...
Wish what?
Now, the hitchhiker.
Yeah, it looks just like the one we just passed. Wish what?
What?
Wish what?
Oh, I wish we hadn't done it.
You want to keep on living in that shack down on Temple Street?
I wish we hadn't killed him.
Yeah, we had the honey. We wanted the money. He didn't want us to have it. Forget it.
I can't forget it. No, I think they're getting closer.
Can you see them?
There's too many curves in the road.
We'll be at Brent's Junction in a minute where we turn off.
But what if they follow us?
I don't think they will if they don't see us turn. They'll get right on out Ventura Boulevard.
And if they stop and ask somebody?
Well, if they follow us. Is that gun loaded?
You only fired one
I
shot.
don't see the safety's off.
We're really gonna fight it out if they...
Well, there's nothing else to do, honey. We're dead pigeons anyway.
It's a beautiful day
Yeah.
to die.
We won't die, baby.
Die with the summertime.
We won't die. Look, there's the turnoff.
They're closer, too, Noel.
Hang on, here we go. Out of the way there, Mac. These hitchhikers, the woods is full of them.
Poor fellas.
Listen, if you're going to feel sorry for anybody, feel sorry for us.
I know, but they all look
They
so...
all look alike. Blue denim pants, khaki shirts.
No,
What?
I was just thinking. Suppose they stop and ask one of those hitchhikers.
They won't. Hey, wait a minute.
What are you going to do?
Talk to that fella a minute. Hand me the pistol.
No.
Shut up.
Are you going to...
Stick your head out and yell at him.
Yell what?
Ask him to come here. Think we're going to pick him up.
No, you're not...
Do what I tell you.
Where is he?
Now, back up a little ways.
I don't see him,
He
Noel.
was right there. He was standing by that live oak tree.
Well, he's gone.
Well, he can't. Listen.
No, be careful. Go on.
What if he...
Go on, they're right behind us.
Hang on to your hat, baby. We made it around the corner at Brent's Junction. Down the Las Vegenas Canyon Road. As we passed the big yellow sign, no smoking or fires beyond this point, we heard the sirens of the police cars screaming their way on up Ventura Boulevard away from us. And we breathed a long sigh of relief. Slowed down at last to a respectable 30 miles an hour in the dust among the sunflowers. Down the winding road, past the alfalfa fields and the side road that leads down to the creek. Down the winding road past the steep little path that leads up to Las Vegenas schoolhouse. Sedately on past the barn where the dog comes out and bites at your tires. Down the winding road under the trees. To the clump of eucalyptus at the corner of Clarence Brown's ranch. And sharp turn left past the high wire fence. To the clump of scrub oak where you turn off. Across the fields at the bottom of the hill. Up to Shangri-La. Around through the willows. Down through the sandy little creek bed that's a roaring torrent when it rains. Across the fields. And take down the bars in the gate.
Up toward the hill. Through the woods to Shangri-La.
Look, Noel.
What?
My gracious, are there hitchhikers everywhere?
Way up here, too? Where's he going? There's nothing up this way except the house at Shangri-La.
He's got the same kind of uniform on.
Blue Levi's, khaki shirt. No hat?
No. Wait, stop.
What's the matter?
Listen, Noel. What if it's the same man?
What? You're crazy. How could he?
I don't know how he could, but it was a policeman or something.
I'll take the gun.
You're going to pick him up? You're going to stop?
I'm going to stop.
Look where you're going! What's the matter now?
We're stuck. No good. No good. We're stuck. Listen, go on up there and get that fellow to come and give us a hand, will you, Madeline?
What if he...
Tell him we'll give him a ride.
All right.
Hurry up. The longer we sit here, the deeper we'll be in the sand here.
All right.
Make it snappy. I want to get out of here. I'll give him a ride, all right. You think if I can get him and Madeline to push...
Noel?
Now what?
Noel!
Yeah, what's the matter?
He's gone.
What?
He's gone. I can't find him anywhere. He was standing right there by the big rock, and there isn't a sign of him. Oh, no, I'm scared.
Well, I was scared, too. You think not? Well, try it yourself sometime. Try murdering a man in broad daylight. Try carrying away 2 satchels full of money with a dozen people watching you. And try racing across the countryside with a frightened woman in a fast car and 3 carloads of cops right behind you. Get stuck in the sand 20 miles from no place. Somebody watching you and then disappearing when you go looking for him. Sure. Yeah, sure, you'll be just as scared as I was. Late summer afternoon, hot and lazy. The smell of eucalyptus trees around you, not a sound to reach you. Not a sound except the scrape of the shovel as you dig and dig and dig at the sand that keeps shifting under the wheels. And your wife standing there with a gun, keeping watch for you don't know who. And the afternoon shadows growing longer and longer, and a little breeze coming up to rustle the leaves and make you think you don't know who's creeping up on you. Ready to throw down a gun on you and say, "Come on with me, kids, let us hang you for robbery and murder." And you know all you want is to get up there to that deserted old house and stash away the satchels of money and just lie low till the rains come and the coppers stay in the station house. And the curtain of rain hides you as you creep out and up the highway to a boat that's going to take you and the money and her away someplace where they'll never find you. Oh, you got plenty to think about while you're digging and the shadows crawl on a hillside toward you. You wonder if you'll ever be done and get out of there. You want to try it sometime? You don't, friend. Oh, yes, everything's got to end sometime, and at last the back wheel's free, and you get back in, and you ease yourself out of there. And it's dark now as you take that winding little old trail up between the hills. It's so hard to see, even in the daytime.
I keep feeling that there's somebody watching us, Noel.
Listen, you keep your ideas to yourself. This is toughen up in the dark.
Well, I wish you'd turn the bright lights on.
And have everybody within 20 miles seeing
You
them.
said nobody lives up here.
Yeah, we'll be all right with these lights. You can't get off the trail.
Unless we fall down the hillside.
We won't fall.
I keep feeling somebody's watching.
Will you cut it out?
Sorry. I'm scared.
Well, there's nothing to be scared of.
I know, that's what...
A deer. Deer all around
There his eyes in the light. They look
here.
like
I know what they look like.
somebody's staring
It
at
was only a deer.
How much farther is it, Noel?
Only a little way now. You remember this turn, don't you?
I don't remember anything except I'm tired and cold and hungry.
I'll give you something to remember when we're living on some nice, warm island down the South Pacific somewhere. 6,000 miles away from here.
If we ever get there.
What'd you say?
If we ever get there.
We'll get there.
No.
Well?
Do you think that hitchhiker could be a cop?
Nah.
Well, who was he?
Some bum. Listen, that wasn't the same guy. You crazy?
Well, I don't know. He sure looked the same.
Well, that's silly. How could he get ahead of us all the time? I was doing 75, 80 miles an hour. He was walking.
Maybe.
I can't hear you.
I said maybe he was walking.
You're crazy, Madeline.
Well, maybe he had a motorcycle or something.
Well, how could he get past us? We'd have seen him if he passed
Well,
us.
maybe he knew some shortcuts.
Oh, cut it out.
Look out!
What? Just a snake in the road?
Did you run over it?
Yeah.
I heard it's bad luck to kill a snake.
Kill a snake, it brings rain. That's what we want.
I hate to see the summer go away.
Not me. Summer, goodbye. That's what I say. And good riddance. I want rain.
I wish we'd get there.
Yeah. That's just up this little slope, honey. And then we can rest.
I'm worn out.
Me too.
We've had a day.
I'll say.
I sure want some coffee.
No coffee.
Why not?
Fire. I'm going to build a fire up here.
Why? Afraid of setting the grass on fire? Afraid about that sign?
What sign?
Sign that said no smoke and no fires beyond this point.
No, not that. Somebody might see it. Anyway, you ever see a brush fire up here in the canyon?
No,
Well, you don't want to see one, believe me.
I guess not.
There's only this one road to get out, see?
I know.
And we drive right into the hands of the cops.
Yeah.
After it rains, it'll be all right.
Doesn't feel much like rain now. Say, isn't this the place?
Oh, I think it's a couple of 100 yards more. No, wait.
There's that rock shaped like a bell.
Sure, that's right. My gosh, I nearly got lost.
Well, you couldn't go much farther. The canyon ends right past the house.
Sure. Hey, looks different here at night.
I hope nobody's up here, no?
There isn't anybody, don't worry.
I don't know. That fella we saw.
Forget it, will you? Yeah, this is good. We'll park here. You go ahead and unlock the door. I'll get the stuff out and bring it up. Flashlight in the glove compartment.
You go unlock it.
Scared?
Well,
But
all right, I'll go.
go ahead, honey. We're all alone here. And this will be all over in a couple of days, and it's a hope for the South Pacific. Go ahead. I'll be right behind you.
All right.
Watch out for snakes.
I will. No!
What's the matter? Where's that gun?
No!
What's the matter? Is there somebody?
No! The house! It's stolen!
The house is gone, I said. The house is gone, she said. And the house was gone. I saw it 3.5 months before, and it was there. Little frame cabin, 3 rooms, a little porch and a chimney, big as life. I know it was there then. But in the darkness, that night, it was gone, friend. Oh, no, I checked it with a lone eucalyptus tree that stood alongside the porch. The tree was there. The house was gone. There wasn't the slightest sign that the house had ever stood there. Nothing dug up, no debris of any kind, no sign there'd ever been a house there. In the dim starlight, in the middle of the night, and my wife and me looking at it, me holding a satchel full of money in one hand and a loaded cocked pistol in the other. And top that, friend. And Madeline started to cry. Well, I'll be...
You took us to the wrong place.
I wonder if I... No, I couldn't have. I know every inch of that trail, Madeline. You recognize the rock that looks like a bell yourself,
Lord.
didn't you?
Didn't I what?
Recognize it.
I thought I did. But where's the house?
I don't know. Somebody must have torn it down and taken it away.
Doesn't look as if there ever was a house here.
Yeah, you can't see in the dark. This is the place, all right. This is Shangri-La, Madeline.
I'm scared. Let's get out of here.
Get out of here and go where, darling?
Oh, no. Why did we do it?
Oh, for the love of... Here, give me that flash.
I can't have
Give me
it
the
on.
flashlight. What's that over there?
Where?
Looks like somebody's had a campfire here. Yeah, that's what it is.
No, let's go.
That's right, old fire. The people that tore down the house probably built it to burn up rubbish. That's why we don't find anything.
I'm scared, Noah.
Shut up.
What are you going to do?
There's nothing else to do. Go back and sleep in the car.
With those bags? With the one with the blood?
Blood. And the money, baby.
I won't be able to sleep a wink.
You said you were so tired.
I expected to sleep on a bunk in the house. Noah, what became of
It's
it?
been torn down, I told you. You talk as if I owned it or something.
Well, I don't go for it.
Look, sweetheart. We're 2 jumps ahead of the cops. We're loaded with 2 bags of money. They saw us knock off that guard. What do you want to do? Go to a hotel up in Santa Barbara? Don't be a jerk.
I'm sorry. I'm making a fool of myself, no.
That's a kid. That's a good kid.
Hope we don't have to stay here very long.
It'll rain. Any day now. Summer's over, baby. Now, come on back to the car. I'm out on my feet.
I wish...
I wonder who it was tore that place down.
Hope it wasn't that man we saw.
Cut it out. He's a million miles away from here.
Well, I hope...
There was a rifle shot. I wonder...
What do you think?
Get in the car, man.
I don't...
Get in the car.
I told you that, man.
Cut it out. I don't hear anything. Maybe it was somebody out taking a pot shot at a deer.
Can you...
Get inside the car.
No, I don't want to.
You heard me. If anybody... What?
Look. On the hill behind you.
What? Where?
The man. The man. The hitchhiker.
There he stood. On the little slope of the hill above and behind us. Mist was drifting over the stars, but I couldn't mistake him. Khaki shirt, blue Levi's, no hat. Rifle in his hand. I shouted at him, but he didn't even look down at me. He raised his rifle and fired. Immediately there was an answering shot from somewhere off in the hills below us. Madeline was lying alongside the car crying. I stood there. Just stood there unable to move. And he started down the hill toward us. And then a sudden flurry of shots in the distance. And like a character in an old-time silent movie, he stumbled and fell down the hill toward us. I could see the spreading stain across his khaki shirt in the starlight. I took a step toward him. He didn't even look at me. Painfully, oh, so painfully, he drew himself up on his knees, aimed the longest time, and fired one shot.
Madeline!
Madeline, I yelled. And all I could hear in the dark was her bubbling, rasping breath, and when I reached her, her sweater was black with blood. She could only gasp. I raised the pistol and aimed it at the man who had murdered my wife, and I pressed the trigger once, twice, 3, 4 times. The man stood up again, and I saw the bullets hit him in the starlight, but he didn't even cringe. Silently, deliberately, he reached in his pocket, pulled out a match, and struck it. Bent down to set fire to the summer dry grass. And in half a second, the scene was bright as day. Racing fire roared at me. I hardly had time to snatch up Madeline and hurl her into the car. Right away back where we came from. There was nothing else to do. Down the twisting canyon trail, a car pursued us. I drove faster and faster. After a dying man in the car with me, a devastating fire was leaping at us. Down through the fence. Down to the Sandy Creek pond. Fire always at our heels. And then, just as we crossed the creek, the rain began. The blessed rain that was to have saved us now that we'd bidden goodbye to summer. And at the corner, there by the ranch, the police car was waiting. And Madeline was dead. I told them, under their guns. And I could see they didn't believe me. I babbled about the rain, how it had put out the fire, how the house was gone. And they laughed. And then when it was morning, when it was broad daylight, we went back up the canyon, up the twisting trail, where there was no sign of fire. Me and the police. And when we got there, in the daylight, there was the house. Just as it always had been. And there hadn't been any fire. Not the night before, anyway. One of the police officers told me about it. Remember, or maybe you don't, 27 years ago, there was a fellow murdered a couple up here in Las Cajenas Canyon, he said. And he hid away up here. 27 years ago, he said. The posse came on him at night and they killed him. But he managed to set the grass on fire that night. It burned out the whole countryside, he said. He was a bad man, he said. Right up here. I remember him so well. A hitchhiker he was. Wore a pair of Levi's and a khaki shirt. Remember him very well, he said. So do I. The title of today's Quiet Please story is Summer Goodbye. It was written and directed by Willis Cooper, the man who spoke to you was Ernest Chappell. And Kathleen Cordell played the part of Madeline. Music for Quiet Please is by Albert Berman. Now, Willis Cooper for a word about next week.
Thank you for listening to Quiet Please. My story for you for next week is called Northern Light.
And so until next week at the same time, I'm quietly yours, Ernest Chappell.
That's our show for tonight. I want to thank you all for listening. And remember, you can find me on Facebook.com/terror1970, or you can find me on Instagram at Radio Show Nerd, or on Blue Sky at Terror Radio. I also have a YouTube channel. Please check it out. Like and subscribe. Share the videos. It will be highly appreciated. Again, this is your host, Keith, better known as the Radio Show Nerd, signing off.